Love can begin in many ways. With a shy glance, an unexpected encounter, or a kind gesture. But sometimes, love begins in a completely different way. With anger, rivalry, provocations, and two people who simply can't stand each other. And if there's a K-drama that perfectly represents this, that drama is Love to Hate You. A fast-paced, intense, modern, and addictive story that took the enemies-turned-lovers trope to the extreme, and delivered one of the most entertaining chemistries in recent years. Today, we're going to delve deep into this explosive story. Let's understand why Kang-ho and Yeo Mi-ran are one of the most unexpected and irresistible couples in K-dramas. And how a relationship that began as a battle turned into one of Netflix's most passionate romances. Everything in Love to Hate You revolves around two extremely strong and extremely stubborn protagonists. On one side we have Kang-ho, one of Korea's most famous actors. He is elegant, polite, professional. But he harbors a secret. Kang-ho doesn't trust women. Past traumas have left him emotionally closed off, always suspicious, always on alert. On the other side, we have Yeo Mi-ran, a fierce and determined lawyer, specializing in cases involving the entertainment industry. Mi-ran is independent, direct, and completely allergic to the idea of falling in love. In fact, she detests men who think they are superior, and she doesn't take any nonsense. In other words, these two were destined for conflict. And when Mi-ran ends up crossing paths with Kang-ho, the clash between them is practically inevitable. One of the best things about this drama is that the script doesn't waste time. From their first meeting, Kang-ho and Mi-ran make it clear that they won't get along. He thinks she's too aggressive. She thinks he's too arrogant. And the two quickly engage in a game of provocations, barbs, and attempts to show who is the strongest. But that's where the enemies-turned-lovers trope begins to shine. Because the more they try to belittle each other, the more the audience realizes how well they complement each other. They can't stand each other, but they understand each other. They fight, but they speak the same language. They try to irritate each other, but end up admiring each other without realizing it. It's the kind of chemistry that doesn't need romance to exist. The tension already does everything for them. Like every good romantic comedy K-drama, there's a moment that forces the two to get closer. And in Love to Hate You, this happens through an extremely unexpected contract. Kang-ho, for professional reasons, needs to pretend to be romantically involved. Mi-ran, because she works directly with him, ends up being the perfect person to serve as a front. Neither of them likes the idea. But neither of them is in a position to refuse. And it's when they're forced to spend time together that the impossible begins to happen. The hatred loses ground. The rivalry begins to turn into partnership. And what was once irritation transforms into something much more dangerous. Attraction. The strength of Love to Hate You lies in its pacing. The drama doesn't drag, doesn't prolong conflicts, and doesn't force caricatured situations. Everything happens naturally, funnily, and extremely convincingly. Kang-ho begins to see in Mi-ran a confident, strong, talented woman, completely different from the people who hurt him. She makes him laugh, makes him open up, and challenges him in a way no one has ever dared. Mi-ran, who has always treated relationships with skepticism, discovers that Kang-ho is not the arrogant man she imagined. He is kind, sensitive, protective, and, above all, extremely sincere when he loves. They both try to resist. They try to keep their emotions under control. They try to remember that it's all just a professional agreement. But the chemistry between them simply won't let them. And the audience feels it in every dialogue, every fight, every glance. There are many dramas about enemies who become lovers, but few do it as well as Love to Hate You. And there are three main reasons for this. 1. The protagonists are badass in their own right. They don't depend on each other to shine, and that's precisely why they complement each other. 2. The chemistry is real, fun, and mature. It's not childish, it's not forced, and it's not superficial. It's natural, electrifying, and extremely well constructed. 3. The romance grows without losing its humor. You laugh, you get emotional, and you root for them both the whole time. The moment when Kang-ho and Mi-ran finally admit their feelings is the most satisfying point of the narrative. They've fought, they've clashed, they've tried to prove who's stronger. But in the end, they realize that true strength lies in letting your guard down. And when they decide to be together, it's impossible not to notice how well they complement each other. He brings sensitivity to her world. She brings courage to his. And together, they form one of the most balanced and fun couples of recent years. If there's a drama that manages to transform rivalry into passion, confrontation into partnership, and teasing into romance, that drama is Love to Hate You. A light, fast-paced, delightful story to watch that proves that sometimes the person you tease the most is precisely the person your heart has already chosen.